What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Beanball Podcast. This is episode 78, and we are your hosts, Alan and Alan. And what's up, my guy?
What's up?
Oh, man.
Not much, man.
Summer is creeping in.
Yeah, we had a whole week full of rain, and now it's hot and muggy.
Yeah, like, it's weird wearing a hoodie for us in Virginia in, like, May. Usually by now we're in the 80s almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what's this 50-degree weather? Like 60s. I'm like, and finally this week you're looking at 80s the rest of the week. And I'm like, okay, we're finally here. So finally getting that flirtatious summer. Of course, we're less than 2 weeks away from Memorial Day. So that's usually the kickoff for summer.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but, I feel like every time we record a podcast, we get flirts or have a no-hitter.
Absolutely.
You literally, when we hit end record last week, I looked at my phone and it said Justin Verlander has a no going. I'm like, excuse me?
Right. So we get done recording. We get the notification that the ODU alumni, Justin Verlander, is in the midst of a no-hitter. So obviously Alan leaves and I'm turning on the game. I'm like, all right, let's watch it.
I turn it on in the car. I'm listening to this the rest of the way.
So what I've been doing a lot lately, I was like, okay, so I'm watching nighttime games, but Verlander was flirting with a no-no. I turned it on, and shortly after it was over, I was like, oh, well, so much for that.
Yeah.
But how is he doing? What do you think?
Like, it's insane. Like, you're talking about a guy who hasn't pitched in 2 years.
Yeah.
39 years old. And
I wrote him off.
And we're like, what kind of guy, 2 years off. Okay, yes, it's less on your arm and your elbow and stuff, but you have Tommy John, so it's like, how old is your body going to react being a little older?
Not in baseball shape, I didn't think.
Yeah. So, but, Verlander faced the minimum through 8 innings, 24 batters, because he did allow 2 walks and, of course, to end up single in the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
But the 3 base runners were erased with 2 double plays. He only ended through 8 innings with that 1 hit.
Yeah, that's tough.
So after that game, he was 4-1 with a 1.55 ERA through his 6 starts of this young season. It's insane to start seeing like this. It feels like Verlander has not missed a beat because remember in 2019, he edged out his co-teammate at the time. Wow. Why am I drawing a name bank right now? Yankees ace.
Cole Hamels? Or...
Not Cole Hamels. Wow. Garrett Cole. I know Cole something. But, edged him out to win the Cy Young, and, those two dominated that year. Then 2020 happened, short season, first start, and then hold out for hope and had to get Tommy John, so that made him miss last season. And we're like, and then, he took the 1-year deal. Like, what pitcher is this going to be? And I feel like he hasn't missed a beat.
No, man, and like I said, and I guess we should expect it from him because he's in elite company. I don't remember what the stat was, but I saw that, pitchers who've taken the no-hitters into the 7th inning
I had that stat.
Okay, so yeah.
I saw it too, and that blew my mind.
Yeah, well, do you have it?
So this is Verlander's 8th career no-hit bid of 7+ innings,
8?
tied with Randy Johnson for second on the list since the expanded list of 1961. There's only one person who has more, and that number is what blew my mind. Okay. Verlander, I'm like, okay, it makes sense.
You mean
the flirting of the perfect game to end up losing in the no-hitter? He already has 3 no-hitters, 2 in Detroit, 1 in Houston.
Right, and Randy Johnson's elite company in my opinion.
So I'm like, okay, and then, but number 1, of course, is the no-hitter king, Nolan Ryan.
Of course.
Of course, he has 7 no-hitters, but he has 23 7+ innings of no-hit baseball.
That's why he's the best.
I'm like, 23?
That's ridiculous.
And you only got 7? I'm like, oh my God.
And he pitched a long time,
yes.
too. He pitched from like the 60s because he was on the old Mets farm team or team before they went to the
original expansion and stuff.
He was on the team, and then he pitched into like the 90s, didn't he? Something crazy
early
like that.
Early 90s, I feel like.
That's a long time, man.
I feel like it was like late 80s, early 90s.
And to be a guy to take the no-hitters that deep, I mean, he's on a different level. But
still,
Verlander
being now number 2. So say if one more happened, he'll be the all-time number 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's not catching Nolan Ryan, unfortunately, unless some miracle happens.
Nobody's catching Nolan Ryan.
But yeah, but to be number 2 on that short list of showing what you can do in your career is why you're the number 1 pick years ago, and unfortunately you're on some bad Detroit teams. But now, and now with Verlander doing what he's doing, it makes you think Houston does have a shot at another run for a World Series.
Yeah, because it takes the question mark of can their pitching team get it done? And obviously, if Verlander's pitching like he can, you can surround your guys around this guy and rally up.
Yeah, his fastball sat at about 94, topped out at 96 Tuesday. Missed with 4 of their 14 swings and missed, 20 on his slider. That's pretty close to what he's used to, but it's Verlander struck out 8 in 8 shutout innings against the Marlins on April 16th. So it's like this guy is in form. Like we were like, he looked good in spring training. Like, okay, can he prove it through the season? So far, yeah.
So is his velocity down or is it about the same?
A little bit down, not much.
Okay. I was going to say, because if it gets down too much, all he has to do is get his inner Jamie Moyer on and just paint them corners.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's pretty crazy.
It is.
But what's even crazier is on the same night that we record, not only is Verlander throwing a no-hitter, another guy gets into a no-hitter bid. And it's funny because, like I said, at night times, usually when we're done recording something and the Mets are done playing,
the early games are close to being done.
Right.
The late games are just now starting when we're usually finished.
And I am 9 times out of 10 watching an Angels game.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, why are you always watching Angels games? Like, because 2 of my favorite players play on this team. Trout and Ohtani, exactly. So I'm always catching the game. So I started watching that game as soon as Verlander gave up no hitter. I was like, let me go watch the Angels, see what they're doing. And this kid was going deep. I was like, what? I was like, Alan, this guy's throwing a no too.
I know.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Angels rookie Reid Detmers threw the no against Tampa Bay.
Ridiculous.
And so, the 12-0 victory against Tampa Bay Rays, this is the same Rays who went to a World Series 2 years ago, were the number 1 seed last year, and they're good hitters. He becomes the youngest Angels since Anibal Sanchez back in 2016 against the Marlins. This is, of course, was the Major's second no-hitter of the season. Of course, the Mets was the first, but the 12th for the Angels' history.
Oh, that's pretty crazy. The 12th?
Yep.
Mets only have, what, 2?
2.
Whew. How long have the Angels been around?
Anaheim Angels was an expansion team, I feel like in the 70s.
Dang.
When they started adding teams out west, I think.
So my question is, do we know how many no-hitters have been thrown on a night we've recorded our podcast? Because we had a week. I mean, we had a time every week.
The year of the no-hitters, I feel like we were flirting, we got one, or we predicted who was going to be the next one, like there for a while. I got crazy. But, Detmers said getting that last out was a cool part. It was something that I dreamed out since I was a kid. I didn't think it would ever happen.
Who does? I mean, when you get to this level, that is impossible.
Yeah, and unlike some no hitters this season, his pitch count was never the issue.
No, he
was at 64 pitches through 6 innings.
Yes,
83 through 7, 94 through 8. And he got through the easiest 8 with only 3 routine fly balls.
Right. When I saw his pitch count, I was impressed. I was like, yeah, this guy can get it done. You know what else is crazy? First crazy thing is the kid's 22 years old, and he's a rookie.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Think about that. A 22-year-old rookie coming against the Rays. It's not like he threw this against the Diamondbacks. He threw this against the Rays. And what else? You know what else is impressive, Alan? Especially when you talk about his pitch count. He only had 2 strikeouts that game.
Yes, that's the biggest thing. So he finished with a career high 108 pitches, 1 walk, and just two strikeouts. The fewest strikeouts in a no-hitter since Francisco Lindor also fanned 2 in his no-no back in 2011. It was the first no-hitter for the Angels since the combined no-hitter in 2019. Of course, the team's first home game since the Tyler Skaggs death. And the first individual no-hitter for the club since Jared Weaver back in 2012.
What a great pitcher. But yeah, and you know what's just crazy? Like you said, his pitch count was low, which is impressive because, like I said, he only had 2 strikeouts, but he had 25 balls put in play. Think about it. 25 balls put in play, and you threw a no-no.
Yeah.
That means that's great. I don't know if he's...
The defense was elite that night for him.
It was really good. I'm not sure if this guy is usually a ground ball pitcher.
I just think it was
he is, though?
I don't think so either.
Okay,
so,
I'm not sure.
So, of course, he was the club's first pick back in 2020, the 10th overall pick. That was the year that they went deep on pitching, and the next year they went deep on pitching, too.
Was that the year that they had to shorten
the 5 rounds?
Wow, very impressive.
He's out of Louisville. He was making just his 11th career start in the majors. He came to the game with a 2.4 career mark with a 6.33 ERA up until that time. The third highest ERA entering no-hitter since it became official stat back in 1913. He is 1-1 this season with 5.3 ERA in his first 5 starts of the season. So this was actually his first time Devers have gone 7 innings in a major league game.
Wow.
His previous career best was 6 last season against the Astros. He's never thrown more than 97 pitches in a big league game either.
Man.
It's insane. So, like, you talk about the 2 strikeouts, it got me thinking because a lot of people got, especially Mets fans, got upset about Noah Syndergaard's tweet.
Yeah. Yeah. They said he was taking shots at the Mets.
That's a real no-hitter.
That's a real no-hitter.
So if you really think about it, I think there's we'll say about 4 tiers of no-hitters. You have your we'll say top tier is perfect.
Perfect game is
perfect
for
game
sure.
is your top.
By yourself.
Your next one is a 1-hitter and like 15 strikeouts.
Mm-hmm. Your
next one is like this one, a low strikeout, ground ball, defensive, then a combined.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Though.
I feel like those are like your 4 tiers for a no-hitter.
Okay, so if he was taking shots at the Mets, I do agree with Syndergaard that yes, it's not
This
the
is a one-man
ideal.
yeah.
It's not the ideal no-hitter, but it's still impressive because they hit that team.
And I think the combine is even harder because like between there's different arms, lefty, righties.
Mm-hmm.
They have more information. Who's coming in? They'll look up. And there's not like a starter where it's used to going like you're talking inning. Like I think it could be sometimes a little harder, but I don't think he was taking a shot. I don't know. Maybe he was.
Well, guess what? If he was taking a shot, then this is the time for revenge because last night Noah Syndergaard didn't even get out of the first inning.
No, against the Texans.
I think he gave up like 6 runs.
6 runs in 2/3 of the
I
inning.
watched it. His stuff was super flat. His sliders
happens
just,
sometimes.
I know
You have a bad game, but it's
you
unfortunate.
You can't talk crap and not back it up though, because
it's-
he got beat up. He went 0.2 of an inning.
Yeah.
Not good.
No.
I mean, I love Noah, but you got to back it up, buddy.
Yeah.
You can't talk the crap if you can't back it up.
But like looking, I thought about it, I was like, yeah. I hope we see a perfect game soon because we've been so long since flirtings, and John Means last year, unfortunately, a error cost him his perfect game. And it's like, okay, and then
the one that I can't get out of my head. Anytime we talk about perfect game,
Armando
Galarraga.
yeah.
That one just haunts me, man.
Didn't it come up recently that a school or something
They were trying. Yes.
Yeah,
and look, I want them to be successful because I can't get over that. I adamantly believe that needs to be in the stat book.
We all
as a
know
no-no.
with today, instant replay that would have been challenged.
It wasn't even
reversed,
close. It was
and been no hit, and it been done.
It was a whole step though. It wasn't even close. That's what hurt me the most. Is it wasn't
usually
as
bang
close.
bang play. It goes to home, and they were
wasn't
home.
It wasn't
That's
even
the weird
bang,
thing.
bang.
Like if it's a bang bang play, usually back then it went to the home team. He was home.
It wasn't as bang bang as you're thinking.
No, I know. I said usually bang bang, but it was. But I don't know if he just brain farted. I don't know, but they made up.
Look, I can never get over that one.
But
because he never had another chance really. I mean, he was there, but it wasn't a long career. He ended up here in Norfolk for a couple
of starts, and then I think he ended up retiring, and it's sad.
But let's get some better news. So speaking of Noah Syndergaard,
and speaking of the Angels,
obviously, if you don't know, you should. There's a player by the name of Shohei Otani, and he becomes the 3rd Japanese-born player to hit at least 100 home runs. He's only been in the league for 3 years now.
He got over 20. What was the year that he came in, had a rookie year, then got hurt the following year?
Oh, okay. So maybe I'm thinking that because he was out for a while.
I feel like 2018 maybe. Missed 2019.
Okay, but look, we can say he put together at least maybe 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And he's got 100 home runs right now. So what do we think about that?
So, Shohei and Tyler Ward provided just what the Angels needed to get over that bad loss in the opener in the day-night doubleheader. But Ohtani hit his 100th career home run. Ward hit the grand slam. The Angels avenged the split against the the Oakland Athletics for the nightcap on Saturday. But in the 5th inning, Ohtani followed Mike Trout's RBI to make another homer 8-1. The 100 is a big number, Ohtani said through his interpreter. I'm proud of it, and it's early in the season. So Ohtani's the 3rd Japanese foreign. So there's 2 people in front of him. One is he only trails Hideki Matsui with 175,
who was a beast for the Yankees.
Then Ichiro Suzuki at 117.
Right, and when I heard that stat, I was like, what? That's got to be wrong. There's no way Ichiro hit 100 home runs. And I was like, oh, he did. You always forget. I mean, he was one of those I'm going to get a hit guy, but he did have power. Like everybody said, they wanted to see him in the home run derby because he could rake, but we never got that chance. But we all know Ichiro could hit.
Yeah.
But Hideki was a monster.
Yeah.
He was,
especially it helped when Yankees the short porch
for
and
sure.
Stuff.
For sure. But that's very impressive.
That is impressive. But then the other stat, Ohtani has now, the name came up last year a lot, Ohtani and Babe Ruth.
Absolutely.
Now Ohtani joins Babe Ruth as the only two pitchers who have hit 100 home runs and at least has 250 strikeouts as a pitcher.
Exactly. And that's elite company.
Like,
if
when you
don't
say
know,
stuff
you
like
know.
that, when we said we're seeing history last year, we're still doing it because this is rare what we're seeing.
And it's impressive. Think about it, man. And also think about how long Hideki, Matsui, and Ichiro were both in the league to get 100. This guy's got 100 in basically 3 seasons.
If you think about it, 17 more home runs, he'll be number 2 by the end of the season.
Right.
And then Hideki, Matsui has circled that number within, hell, depending on what he puts up this year, could be next season.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm getting at, is that this is not like a little stunt, like, oh, this guy kind of pitches and he kind of gets hits, and it took him 10 years and he got 100 home runs. No, this guy is doing work. He is up there in the top tier of the league, and he's up there in pitching. This guy is doing stuff that you only dream about. It's like your all-star team that you create as a game.
Yeah, and of course, manager Joe Madden said he does it every day. It's not surprising anymore. I don't want to say expecting it, but we're expecting it. That's just who he is right now. He's going to keep adding on to that. You're going to hear more names, more milestones. He's a baseball player, and he loves to play.
Exactly. And who doesn't love seeing it?
Yeah. And like what the game of baseball, like you think about NBA, how the sport grew overseas. This is helping, and this is going to open the door to a lot more Japanese players to get more involved in Major League Baseball over here.
Well, you know what it's going to do? It's going to open up more of players being two-way players.
That too.
Which is crazy because, when you think about when everybody watched Babe Ruth, everybody's like, oh, this guy's really great. And he did it, but it was surprising that nobody's done it since.
Yeah, you had to pick a path.
Like, this is in like the 1916, 1920s.
And you hear other people that possibly could be, and then end up just picking one during
exactly.
minor
Or they
leagues.
get drafted. Yeah, they get drafted. Oh, am I going to get drafted as a pitcher or a position player? And they don't really pursue it. So now maybe teams will start letting guys pursue this if they're that good.
Especially now with DH in both leagues.
Exactly.
You have the opportunity to be like Ohtani, DH. If you want to, he could play a position if needed. But
I get it. People are specialized now. It's hard to be successful in all realms of baseball.
Because if you think about it, growing up, you're a pitcher and hitter through majority of your young career until you start getting your later high schools, college, you start picking position.
Right.
Ohtani is now going to fill people's head like, why not me?
Why not?
And it's going to open the door where the next 10 years, we can see this as more of an average thing where we're seeing he pitches from the bullpen or starter, and then he hits the other days.
Yeah, so like you said, I mean, at this rate, if this stays like this, he's definitely going to open the door for the future. So you're watching history as we see it now.
This is history.
Like
we've talked about, we have to go see the Angels. We are circling, figuring out, because this is something that we can talk about in our later years. And like, we saw history. We saw this man, like the stories of the old people talk about how seeing Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle. Like, this is something special that is happening in front of our face.
Yeah, speaking of history, how about Pujols pitching the other day?
Yeah, getting a big lead. You think not then you see other guys in the outfield, but Pujols is just adding that resume.
I don't know if we talked about it last week, but there was another guy who's a position player. He also did what Ohtani did. He pitched and hit in the same game, basically like that. I can't remember what it was. I think it was for the Dodgers.
No, I think you're talking about the Rays.
The Rays. Oh, was it the Rays?
Brendan.
Yeah. All I know is I don't know if we talked about it.
No.
Did we talk about it?
No, we didn't.
Freaking Anthony Rendon decides he's going to go up there.
That was the no-hitter game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. So that's the crazy stat.
Because they're blown open, and he's like, why not waste arms? Let's throw him in there.
Yes. So if you need a trivia question, so the night that the rookie Detmers throws a no-hitter, Anthony Rendon comes up in the ninth inning. He bats left-handed, and he hits a home run.
Okay. No other manager besides Joe Madden will probably allow that to happen. Like, sure, why not? We're up 12-0, like 11-0.
But the fact that he crushed a home run.
But the stat now, like,
who caught that ball?
But the funniest thing now, like, you put that stat up as a right-handed pitcher. Here's your stat at left-hander. I'm 1-for-1 with a home run.
1-for-1, batting 1,000 with a home run, and he's never going to do it again.
No.
It is a crazy, it's an awesome
Well, it's just
stat.
like what you said about Pujols. That's why Evan Longoria had to get up there and hit a home run off him. Like, I had to. Like,
yeah, why
I hit
not?
a home run off
I
Albert
hit a
Pujols.
dinger off of Pujols. Exactly.
The Hall of Fame Albert Pujols.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, it was such a crazy. It was fun when I saw him up there. I was like, what is he doing? He's not left-handed. And then he crushed it.
Yep.
Oh man,
It's baseball's like some of these guys are having fun again.
But that's what we can say about Ohtani.
Yeah.
He's bringing the fun. Their team is having fun. The
Yes.
Angels are looking good. I don't know if you guys have seen them.
The biggest swing was quite like the pitching.
Yes, and it still is. It
It's
still
the
is.
young pitching they are developing. We'll see if it pans out for a full season. Are they going to add some pieces? And here about a month, like we keep telling, like teams are going to figure out if they're contenders or pretenders. And the market, like I think we had some like little trades happening. I forgot who. I think it was someone just traded like a reliever. But so it's going to start happening soon. Like we said, Reds, which we're about to get into, they have a pitcher we talked about last week that they're going to start listening to. So one of these teams that's we're going to pull it sooner or later, they're going to start doing it. But the Reds,
another no hitter.
like
this is a crazy stat too.
Like to go from 2 years ago being a playoff team to now being the joke of the Major League Baseball.
You know what's funny?
Is ridiculous.
Okay, so this is funny because we used to, you and I, in this podcast, we always joke about how bad the Pirates are.
Yeah.
But what happened this last week, Alan?
So, if the biggest question, could the Reds be the worst team ever? They just lost a game after rookie Hunter Green and reliever Art Warren combined for a no-hitter, but the Pirates won the game 1-0 on Sunday.
So, based off of this stat alone, I could easily, maybe not easily, but I could say the Reds are the worst team ever. Because how do you throw a no-no against the Pirates and still take an L?
So, instead of Pittsburgh Pirates eking out a run in the bottom of the 8th inning on 3
on a fielder's
walks
choice, right?
and a ground out for a 1-0 victory Sunday, the Pirates became the 6th team in Major League history since 1901 to win despite not getting any hits. The last one happened back in 2008 when Jared Weaver and Jose Hernando of the Angels lost while holding the Dodgers hitless.
That's crazy. So it still goes down as a no-hitter.
No, not technically.
Okay.
It doesn't as a stat as a no-no.
But how could it not? Because think about it. They finished the game. The game is over. They can't play any more games.
A no-hitter is if I think you have to win.
The no-hitter is exactly what it is. Nobody got a hit.
I know, but no one really can't celebrate a no-hitter after losing a game.
You could. We lost, but we...
But yeah, Green took the loss technically, becoming the first pitcher to throw 7 hitless innings and take a loss since Matt Young of the Red Sox against Cleveland back in 1992. That's hard. Green has had his highlights and lowlights, but no support for no hitter. Like, okay, we lost it in the 9th inning or extras because I'd be relieved or whatever, but walks and then a ground, like you said, a ground out, let the batter score. No one else scored for the Reds, and they got the L.
I don't know, man. Somebody needs to inform us if that was considered a no-hitter, because I keep seeing the Reds threw a no-hitter and lost. Are they counting this as a no-hitter?
To my knowledge, I heard they're not.
Okay, but I'm just saying, in my mind, the game ended, and nobody got a hit.
Yeah.
You might have taken an L, but he still threw a no-hitter. They can't get a hit on the board.
Yeah, okay, let me pull it up. Pull up the... So if you think about it right now, as of today, we'll record this Tuesday, the 17th. It
says the Reds get an unofficial no-hitter.
Yeah. So the Reds are now sit at 9-26.
9-26, you say?
They're 13.5 behind Milwaukee. They're 6-4 the last 10.
Look.
So you take away that 6-4 in the last 10. They're 3-22 before the last 10 games.
But the last 10, 6 and what?
6-4.
So that's not bad. I'm not counting anybody out. Look at what the Braves did.
Yeah, but come on now. Let's get real. The only thing they're competing for is the number 1 pick.
Well,
which remember, that's not guaranteed no more.
Exactly. But it's a
better
shot.
Lottery starting next year.
Still.
But
right.
Which would be interesting. That'd be hilarious. They don't get it after sucking so bad.
How bad would it be a Reds fan watching a no-no and taking a loss? Man, I can't imagine.
How if you're Pittsburgh celebrate that win? Like, we got hitless, but hey, we got the dub.
So I know we haven't brought this topic up in a while, but it seems like COVID is hitting the majors again.
Well, it's not really hitting it.
It could be.
It could, yeah. Well, I guess technically Cleveland got hit with some coaches and stuff. They had to be quarantined, but
obviously not as bad as it was a couple years ago.
But Toronto, because Canada rules, You have to be vaccinated to play there. So after the Mets game in against Seattle, Seattle's next Monday, today is Tuesday, and Wednesday is up in Toronto. The manager already said, Scott Serrano said, a couple players will not be making the trip.
Because they're not vaccinated.
Didn't say who, but so far no one has seen Robbie Ray as one of them. And I can't remember who they said who else. So, but your ace, but he just pitches the Mets. So you're not missing him for that start. So let lucked out.
Or they planned it that way.
That too. They could oh, look, can you start a day earlier because you're not going to be able to pitch on Monday because you're unvaccinated. But it's one of the first kind of people we're hearing because most teams are vaccinated who's been going to Toronto. But, Canada requires entering the country to receive at least 2 doses of the vaccine. The second one, at least 14 days before your entry. Requires two. No, I think it's gonna be tests. But
okay.
Left-hander Ronas Ellis was in the clubhouse City Field on Sunday, and several others likely to be added to the active roster since some people are not on the list. So, but it's something that we knew that possibly was going to happen with Canada rules. They weren't budging. This is because NBA, I think it's only Kyrie Irving was the only one unvaccinated, so that was the only issue, and so that was no issue. So MLB, it's we'll see, but Seattle's are the first ones. But but luckily, I guess lucked out for them with Robbie Ray being pushed up, or just worked out.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but speaking of Blue Jays, the single A Blue Jays, Dublin Blue Jays pitchers,
right, combined
for strike out 24 batters against the Yankees Tampa Bay Tarpons.
And they only had it was a 1-0 win, and it was a combined 2-hitter.
Yeah.
So you had a couple young guys that weren't single A.
Yeah. Nick Ferrazzo of the Blue Jays struck out 8 over the first 3 innings.
That's pretty good.
Dylan Santos, the 19-year-old right-hander, struck out 10 over the next 4. Left-hander Braden Scott, 24, struck out 6 over the 2 innings.
Yeah, these 3 guys did work. That's impressive, to be honest.
So tonight we got 20 in 8 innings, and I said, oh my God, this is kind of crazy. Dublin pitching coach Drew Hayes told MLB.com. There are really good hitters on the other side, and it makes it all more impressive for our guys. So if you think about it, the single A Yankees teams are loaded with the young guys. Mm-hmm. Some names you might know. The biggest one that kind of cleared out to me is 2 of them, Alex Vargas and Jason Dominguez.
Yeah.
Struck out 4 times each.
Dude. Yeah, man, they must have been bringing it. I heard that the 24 strikeouts they had was the most in a minor league game since 2005.
Yep. So, the highest previous 9-inning total for a minor league since MLB Advanced Media has become minor league official stats back in 2005 was 22, and that was AAA Yankees Scranton back in 2016. So it's insane. Especially when I saw the names who struck out, like you said, the 4 times, I'm like, those are supposed to be Yankees' future guys. Man, I was like, either they were dealing or someone was having a bad night.
I don't know. They better not do that again. A pitching or hitting coach might get fired.
Well, we already had one hitting coach got fired. The Kansas City Royals decided to make a change finally.
Yeah.
But it's insane. Yes, it is single A. You take what it is, but that's a lot.
It is a lot.
That is very a lot. But,
well, hey, good show for the people who are watching.
Yeah, especially if good job Blue Jays. Your A team, if those pitchers keep doing that, they'll be helping y'all in a few years.
All right. So some other news. We always hear about A-Rod in the news recently.
So A-Rod, this is, of course, last year. Well, I guess it was last year.
Yeah.
He lost the bid to Mets. Steve Cohen outbid him, and then after that he's now already the part owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves and also the
Lynx.
Yeah, the Lynx, Minnesota Lynx.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently he might be ready for another go around to get a MLB franchise.
You got to know he wants one.
Yes.
Although he did come out and said that he's 100% focused on the teams that he already has, basically. But yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
According to New York Post, Rodriguez could be interested in buying his hometown Miami Marlins. while the team is, of course, officially not up for sale, there's been rumors swirling around the Marlins brass and partners are very displeased with the balance sheets of the team.
I bet they are.
Since purchasing the team, they bought the franchise back in 2017 at $1.2 billion. And it'd be another incentive for A-Rod because, Derek Jeter was, team CEO and walked away from it because of disagreements.
But could he team up with A-Rod and get back on track?
Maybe. But man, they're not up there, and it can, it makes sense, A-Rod's from Miami. That'd be something. He owns a lot of stuff down there.
Didn't he play for them?
No.
He played for Texas?
He started with Seattle and then went to Texas
Seattle.
And then Yankees. But, like I said, it's not officially up for sale. If the numbers keep working out.
Oh, money talks.
But now the thing is, he's got to find another, probably someone because, good chunk of his money's probably involved with the Minnesota Timberwolves now.
Yeah.
But hell, the Minnesota Timberwolves owner might be that guy. Like, look, we're good. You want to go buy a team in Miami? I help run that. You got this thing up here.
That's the thing though, is that A-Rod he just wanted a team so bad he got one, but I feel like he'd rather take part in a baseball team. So I don't see him wanting to.
Yeah, and then it's a little more because his nephew just got promoted in the Marlins to Major League, a shortstop who hit a home run his debut back in May 7th. So, it could be a perfect fit from Miami. He has family in there. It depends on the price, I guess. Like I said, he already owns part of the Minnesota. So it's like, okay, what's my money? What kind of investors I need to be? So, but it wouldn't, of course, we talk about this, but of course, like you said, Friday, A-Rod's representative denied it, but, he's 100% focused on his Timberwolves in the league. But I don't, like I said, it's not officially up for sale yet. But if the rumors start going, talk's going to happen. What you're asking, let's see the books. Because if you say you're not liking the sheets, how much are you all in debt? It's going to be interesting. We'll keep an eye on the next couple of years. It wouldn't surprise me if A-Rod, and I think A-Rod would be a perfect owner for Miami. I think possibly.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd agree. I think he'd do a great job.
I think he'll do a better job because he knows the market, and he's from there. He knows it. I just don't know. Like,
I guess time will tell.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. I mean, first thing first. If he's not in the market right now, which he might not be, I'd at least like to see how he does.
And then also remember with the Met, he was teaming up with J-Lo and others.
Right.
And he lost J-Lo money because they ain't together no more.
Exactly. Maybe Bennifer will buy it.
Nah, he's a Red Sox through and through. I doubt that.
It doesn't matter if the team's available and you had opportunity.
Nah. So, but speaking of the Mets, remember last year Mets drafted first round pick, Kamar Rocker, and we were both excited because he kept falling. I'm like, yo, this can't end up with us.
Yeah, he kept falling because we thought he was going to be, up there. I mean, we drafted him 10th.
There's possibly some others where, okay, they went, and we're like,
obviously we'd have liked to have Al Leiter, but
yeah, I knew he
or
was
not. I'm sorry, Jack Leiter.
Yeah, I was like, he ain't going. But when before us was Colorado, I'm like, they need pitching. This makes so much sense for him to get him, and then they passed. I'm like,
but that's my question.
There's no way we're letting him out, and then we picked him.
But we didn't get to sign him. They had issues with he threw a lot of innings in Vanderbilt.
A lot of innings, but then they did a physical with the Mets.
And they didn't like what they saw.
And something came back, or they pulled the offer. I don't know if they tried to offer lower. And
they were going to settle on $6 million, but then they completely pulled the offer.
So I wonder, but
it's crazy because I thought Kumar Rocker was a great pick, and obviously other teams were passing on him for this reason as well.
What started swirling, what I kind of heard and saw, that a lot of people thought he might not be a starter, might be more of a reliever. So, spending early first round pick on a starter, possibly most likely a reliever, was probably a little stretch for certain people. So they're like, okay, let's see what happens.
But why did they think he was a reliever? I mean, this guy throws super hard. He's an innings eater in Vanderbilt. Everything he's shown me shows me he can be a starter.
I don't know.
And if he was or a reliever, he'd be a closer. Yeah. And he'd be really good at it. I felt like the Mets knew there's something here to draft him 10th.
Yeah, I think there must be something. Maybe that's why he took time off, and now we're just getting more back news about him.
Well, look, the kid's only 22.
Yeah.
He signed with the Tri-City Valley Cats.
Yeah.
To get ready for the draft. I feel like the experts still have him as a top 35 pick.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I haven't heard nothing from him.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I've been waiting to see if like how they do this and stuff, but now I'm like, this makes sense. Play some baseball for about a month until the draft.
Show everybody you got it.
So, draft is, of course, All-Star weekend, July 17th. He is eligible for the draft yet again. He did, like you said, he went 28-10 with a 2.89 as 39 starts and 3 relief appearances at Vander. Of course, including his no-hitter against the Duke back in 2019.
That's what I'm saying. A no-no against Duke. Duke's a good baseball team.
Yeah,
and Vandy is the best baseball team. Well, one of the best.
Yeah.
Them UVA, people like that. But I'm saying they're playing good competition.
Yeah, so I was like, I really, and then no one ever said anything. But because of that, there's now a rule that if you provide a pre-draft physical, like, they pretty much have to sign you. Like, there's no like, oh, because the physical we did, something came up.
Exactly.
So apparently that was offered, but it was their physicals, something they didn't like. They tried to negotiate, and I guess whatever happened. But now, now the biggest thing is, like, if he does well, I wonder what will happen come July 17th.
I mean, if he shows me he has signs of greatness, I feel like somebody needs to take this opportunity, because I'm still excited when I see this name pop up. I still think that there's a lot of greatness here, and he's only 22, and the what he can do is unreal. He could be the guy who throws 104 and just, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that somebody's going to get a good deal. Maybe the Mets can rekindle this. I have no idea. But whoever gets him, who needs him, I don't know. But I can't wait to see where he goes.
Yeah,
and
I
if
can't
he
wait
signs.
either. So it's, a year away from baseball, so he's going to have less strain on his elbow. So if he does very well, someone picks him, I'm assuming he can go right into minor leagues once the deal gets done, start working through that, and then if he's that advanced, within a couple of years, we'll see him in the major league probably.
Or sooner. It just depends on where he's at.
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as I've heard, I haven't heard anybody say anything about Tommy John or any other kind of surgery on this guy. As far as I know, he's out there just throwing heat.
I just wonder if there was like a small tear where he just had to rest, or I don't know, or they found some cartilage. I don't know. For someone to pull an offer like that, they had to find something significant, or where, like, I don't think he can do a starter, so this is a high pick for like a reliever. I don't know, but time will tell. We hope the best. I hope he proves us wrong.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see Jack Leiter as well.
Yeah, Jack is going to be the stud for Texans when he finally gets up there, hopefully. All right, so speaking of studs, it's time for our favorite time of the week, our players of the week, these studs. AL pitcher, Alan.
Well, mine's pretty obvious, man. I'm going with the rookie, Detmers, from the Angels. My man who threw the no-no in great fashion. 2 strikeouts, 25 balls in play. Team behind him the whole night. I like it.
Yeah. I most likely figured you were going to pick that. I didn't, because I said let's talk to the other guy.
Yeah.
And it's the other guy we talked about, Justin Verlander.
Yes.
This past week, he's 2-0, 13 innings pitched, only allowed 3 hits. 1 was the flirting of the no-hitter, so 2 the other game, 10 strikeouts, a .62 whip, and the hitter's average is a .073 in those 2 games.
Pretty sick.
So that just adds more savage to what Verlander earlier. Like, this guy is straight killing it.
And I'm loving it because, we went to the same school, so I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, 2 years removed, Tommy John, older pitcher.
Who would have thought?
So now you think if he keeps this up, does what we think he is, you're talking about a possible Max Scherzer level contract. You're talking 30-something million if he does it, like, if he keeps this up all season.
A 3-year contract?
He's getting paid 25 this year. Like, could he get 30, 40 million if he wants to keep playing? Someone might pay it.
But how long is Scherzer's contract?
3 years.
Yeah, I'm thinking a 3-year contract.
Like 2-3 years.
Yeah, it'd have to be something
if he
small.
proves it and keeps it up, I think Verlander's heading towards that direction.
I don't see why not either. I mean, he's been the guy.
So it's only impressive. I can't wait to see what he finishes this year. If he gets another Cy Young after missing 2 seasons, damn.
All right, well, then let's go into the AL Player of the Week.
All right. Well, I guess I'll start off with this guy's been roller coaster over the last couple of years. So my AL Player of the Week is Giancarlo Stanton of the Yankees.
Okay.
This is 24 at-bats. this past week, 11 hits, 6 runs, 4 home runs, 13 RBIs, and batting .468 with a 1.561 OPS.
Nice.
It's the reason why Yankees are winning. They're doing well, and it doesn't help that Aaron Judge is right there with them, and Aaron Judge bet on himself, and that contract extension is getting more and more expensive the way the season's going.
I thought they were supposed to have something preseason or before the season started.
Yeah, they did. They couldn't agree. They went low.
Of course they did.
Now
they're
Aaron
gonna lose
Judge
him.
is just throwing money. Just so
keep paying me.
Apparently they're still having some negotiations.
Okay.
They're gonna say they're gonna keep it private, but between Stanton and Judge, we said this could be a dangerous combo.
Mm-hmm.
It's the injuries. The injury bug gets them some part of the season. We'll see if they can stay healthy. But right now, both these guys are helping the Yankees being the top team in the AL besides the Angels.
Okay, cool.
So who's your player of the week?
So my player of the week is somebody that we talked about maybe last year or the year before when they had that the next 10 years, who's going to win all these awards.
Oh, the 10-year guess, like MVP, Cy Young, stuff like that. Okay.
So this is a young guy who I'm high on in the future. Kansas City Royals, Whit Merrifield.
Yes.
I like what he's doing. The last 7 games, he's had 10 runs. He's had 13 hits, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, batting .433, and his OPS is a 1.11 or 1.15.
He's always been in the last couple of years, even though they've been a bad team the last couple of years. And the one that also showed up since being traded there is Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah.
And these two have been so far, besides, the show, everyone, Bobby Witt being the top prospect. But them two have been the bright spot. So, like, the biggest thing about Kansas City is still not doing well. If these two still doing well, are they going to trade one of them, keep both, trade just one? It's going to be interesting. But Witt has been very well yet again.
Right.
And it's not,
You could plug and play, and he can make a difference.
Yes.
He's starting to be that guy.
Yeah.
His name is going to be a household name. So the Kansas City Royals, either you pay up, surround your guys with better players, or you're going to have to sell the team. And when you do that, whatever team this guy goes to is going to make a difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. Angels? I don't know who needs anybody yet.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it could be something.
Remember, like it was, and then Benintendi, like, remember, Red Sox gave up on him after one bad season.
Mm-hmm.
18, he's Rookie of the Year candidate, helped him to win the World Series, had a bad year. They shipped him during the offseason after that, and he did well in the shortened season and did well last year. So it's like, and he's doing good yet again. But, we said a little bit ago, Kansas City did fire the hitting coach, so they'll get someone else in. They'll figure it out. But Witt is doing his thing, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad to see him yet again. All right, so now we are heading over to the National League. The NL pitcher of the week. Alan, who do you got?
Speaking of the Marlins, I have Sandy Alcantara of the Marlins. You got him too?
No.
Okay. My man, in the last 7 days, basically, he had 2 games he started. 15 innings pitched, 11 Ks, 5 hits, only 2 earned runs. His ERA is a 1.2 in those games, and his whip is a .60. Opponent's batting average is a 100.
Yeah,
he's been killing it, man. He's been showing up.
It's why Florida is, like we said, we saw the young pitching 2 years ago.
Yeah, shocked us.
And they're now, like, they had a down season. They're more figuring it out, and these guys are killing it. They're making, and we thought maybe they'll be the 4th best team in the NL East.
Yeah,
they can make a push where they can be the 3rd or possibly the 2nd best if
they could.
How Philly and Atlanta's not doing as well we thought they would.
It is a long season.
It is.
But just so you know, I had the Nationals at the bottom.
Yes, I did too.
So I don't care about it.
Which they've been Garbioso so far this season.
But of course they have. What do they got? They got Soto.
And Nelson Cruz, which I still don't know why they signed him, so they're just going to flip him here in a couple months at the trade deadline for some prospects.
But the thing is yes. Anyways, the Marlins look all right.
Yeah.
For what they got.
All right, so my NL pitcher of the week, I have the NL Central leading Milwaukee Brewers Freddie Peralta.
Nice.
In 2-0 this past week, he has 12.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 18 strikeouts, 1 earned run, .63 whip, and the batting average among hitters as a .140.
Nice. Yeah.
Like, we knew they had Corbin Burns.
Right.
And, like, and then Peralta has been just doing it lately, and that's why they're leading the division over the Cardinals. And we're like, this could be a dangerous team. Like, the hitters are we talked about them.
Mm-hmm.
Peralta's doing his thing. Corbin Burns is the only returning face right now, if you think about early Cy Young candidates, Corburn's the only young face that we kind of know. All the other one is people that are young or just having a great start to their seasons.
Okay.
But, Milwaukee's going to keep doing. They keep getting pitching like this. They're going to be a very, very dangerous team the rest of the season. So now we're going to the National League Players of the Week. Who do you got, my bro?
I got a household name that everybody's familiar with. He plays for one of the best teams in the world, the Dodgers, Mookie Betts.
Okay, don't have him, so let's go.
So in the last 7 days, he's had 6 games, 26 at-bats, 6 runs, 9 hits, 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, and he's been batting .346 with an OPS of a 1.201 and slugging .808.
Not bad.
He's been killing it.
And, the All-Star team.
Exactly. How can you not? Because obviously the guy in front of you is probably going to be on base, so it just opens up the opportunities.
The RBI stat gets a little padded when you get people on base.
Exactly. Who you got?
All right, so my National League Player of the Week is actually someone who is now hurt,
but
man, he can still at bat. Last year's defending MVP, Bryce Harper.
Oh, okay.
So he cannot field, he can't throw, but he can still at bat. And so far this week, he has 19 at-bats, 11 hits, 6 runs, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, and batting .579 with an OPS of 1.977.
Pretty sick.
I'm like, yo, if he's doing this hurt, like DHing only.
Well, we know what he can do.
Yeah, I'm like, yo.
I mean, we know the guy is a
So I'm
good,
like, so he's not
player.
on the field, running around. He's just, all he's going to do is bat. Sounds like the power's a little more uptick with him not taking the field some.
Because that's what he does. He's a hitter. And just remember, guys, he wasn't born an outfielder. This guy used to be a catcher. When he was hyped up in the middle on the magazine.
James of baseball.
Exactly.
I remember
when
I had Sports
and I remember us talking about it.
Like, who's this guy? And we read into it.
Yeah, he's like, this guy, this 16-year-old kid is out here hitting bombs in the major league field or whatever. I'm like, what? So yeah, we remember the hype.
I do, yeah.
And he's lived it.
Yeah,
it's just unfortunate that we don't like his attitude when he played for the Nationals against the Mets. That's all. And we had to see a lot of those games.
Yeah,
we saw a lot, and we had to hear the Nationals commentators about it the whole time.
Yeah,
and we just like Bryce Harper's so cocky. But at the end of the day, he is a great player. And like you said, if he don't got to focus on playing in the field every day, and he just has to hit, he could be dangerous.
This is gonna be very dangerous. Like over 500 stat is impressive. And DHing, you're talking about power. Sometimes a lot of them strike out. And if you have it above 500 as a DH and you get on base, getting runs, that is a great week. And we'll see, because I think he's shut down for 4 weeks from on field. So if he keeps this up, man, those power stats can be a little padded.
Look, man, I don't know what we're going to go with the draft, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kumar ended up as a Ranger. Just because Jack is there, he could be in their ear. They were a combo. Think about the success they had in Vandy together. Do you take them and they become your future starting staff?
Man,
I'm just saying. Just think of how cool that would be.
That'd be very interesting. But my thing is, I wonder they wouldn't waste it early, and if they somehow can get the back end of the first round, or maybe fall second, who knows? But man,
that would be interesting. That's all I'm saying.
That would be hilarious.
That would be great. Almost as great as Scherzer and DeGrom if it ever happens.
And if you think about it. They probably will talk to Jack about that.
That's what I'm saying. They have to.
Like,
and these guys, they were the 1-2 combo. Come on, man. He's going to be like, yeah, good things.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting. And then it's weird, like you said, like this is the last year of where you finish is where you draft.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then of course about the draft, now it's coming out that Conforto will be opening the signing after the draft, because then the draft compensation falls off, but he's not playing this year because of the hurt. So it's like, what's the point? Maybe just to get in there to start training.
It's because the Mets, they don't have to give up a pick or whatever it was.
I'm like, well, I guess you can sign, but like people are interested. But if you're not going to be ready till next season, what's the point of rushing it? But we'll see. But, it's crazy. We're here almost into May. Next thing will be June. Schools will be letting out everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dog days of summer where the ball heats up. We'll see if the ball starts flying, which I think the ball is already starting to fly a little bit more. Since we've been talking about how the ball's been dead, is it the heat? Did MLB slightly change the ball again? Like,
We're never going to know.
We're never going to know. But, yeah. So I think that's it for us this week. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check out our social media channels. It will be more active videos and edits. I promise. My training is ending at my the crazy hours. opening, closing, this, that. It'll be more static so I can do some more stuff. So stay tuned. Enjoy some baseball. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.